Welcome, Xlanders. It is me. Thank me later. We got a terrific show for y'all today. Hello, welcome everybody. Golden, great to see you. Silent Tone, UCC DAC in the house. We're actually giving away a URL NFT today for the grand prize drawing tonight, so you don't want to miss out on that. Dedicata, welcome. So Silent Tone 38, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Welcome to the stream. Sheriff Shack in the house as always. Love to see it. WMP LLC. Walk my paws. Let's go. NFT Architect. Shout out from the other side. Good morning to you. Zilla. Howdy. I like it. Being in Texas myself, it is finally getting warmer. 83 and windy. Reminds me of my grandma. RIP. That was, you know what? In my head, that was way funnier. So if you didn't laugh at that joke, I understand it, but it was funny. 83 and windy, like my grandma. That's funny. That's just good, clean humor. All right. That was weird. All right. Well, you can't win them all. I don't have a live audience to get direct feedback from. So there we go. Hey, golden laugh. We got some laughs. I count it. All right. So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to talk about, and I think we might do this regularly on Wednesdays, is just present web3 news and how that pertains to UPX World, maybe what UPX World's done to incorporate that, or how we're leading the market on that area. So I think that will be a good segment and some good knowledge for people, especially if you don't follow the NFT news. Shout out to my boy, Walk My Paws LLC. He actually is like my private Web3 news feed. He sends me all kinds of stuff on a regular basis, keeps me informed. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Honestly, I think we need to figure out a way to make it into a mailing list, because the articles you send me are so good. Like, I feel like everybody will want to read them. Obviously, we're going to do, I'll do my best to recap and take the best pieces here for Wednesday. But honestly, tons of great content out there. The Web3 space is really heating up, and you do not want to be behind. I would sign up. All right, so we'll figure out a way to do that. There's a newsletter aggregator, says UCC DAC. Oh, well, there you go. All right, so first thing I want to share, though, is so after the stream on Monday, I guess, we were going through the behind the scenes on the Steam, so I wanted to give everybody an update on it. I got all of my things. I updated the system requirements to be more aligned with normal system requirements, and updated all of the images. I need to get some more screenshots in here, but we are officially in review to be published to the store. So we're going to go as a coming soon. But what this will allow us to do is then we'll have our own community hub, which means that people can post their screenshots and reviews. You can also follow us and share us and say, hey, UPX World's coming. This is huge. So as soon as this is live, we then have access to 89 million gamers, right? These are people that this is what they do. They just want to go play games and find new stuff. Our entry point is a completely free game with tons of free content that is going to drive people to the content that we want. It's going to drive them to Upland. It's going to drive them to 1111. It's going to drive them to Hyde Park Ninjas. It's going to drive activity to these NFT projects in huge ways. Freemium is absolutely correct. And we've talked a little bit about the different monetization models. And the fact is, I want to go from, I know it's somebody who actually hates microtransactions themselves. I actually want to go from micro to nano transactions. I want the vast majority of in-app purchases to be under $1, honestly, like 50, 25 cents. I really think like that will allow people, because I want there to be lots of really fun content that's really accessible. I want somebody to be able to put $5 in and be able to buy a lot of fun stuff for their character. Now, keep in mind, all the in-app purchases in UPX World are account bound. They're not NFTs. They can't be traded or anything. So people are just going to do it to, decorate for themselves, to have more accessories. But this will be a great UpX sync. One of the things that is currently missing from Upland, in my opinion, is really strong UpX syncs. Outside of, and what that means is something to take UpX out of the kind of the pool. So outside of like minting new properties, which technically does, sync it, but you're getting an asset that's worth something and that's generating UpX. Or the other main sync is the fees, right? So when you buy and sell properties, etc., all of those fees is the other kind of big UpX sync. So what we want to do is allow players to take their UpX and spend it here, and to motivate players who aren't in Upland as a reason to buy UpX and use it here. So that's kind of what we're doing. And so that I'm really excited for it. This is like a lifelong dream I didn't even know I had. I've been a lifelong gamer. So if you would have told 12-year-old me that eventually I would be helping lead a game be published on Steam, I would be like, holy cow, my life is amazing. And I'd be like, bro, you're going to need to wait about 26 years and go through some stuff. But then, yeah, like at the end of that, like it's going to be cool. But like, no, yeah, it gets dicey there. You got to hang in there though. But yeah, that's my younger advice to myself. And if you're younger, no, it's never too late. I currently weigh less than I did when I graduated high school. At 37 years old, I'm in the best shape of my life. So don't let anybody tell you it's too late to start. It's never too late to start. All right. And Shaq, I love this. I'm just gonna assume that you fell on your keyboard. This is my new favorite comment, though. On mobile. Very go. Pocket. I'm not even gonna try and decipher that. All right. So let's see what we got in news today. These are some articles that we're going to go through as again, just kind of a new format. We'll see how people like it. I'll take questions and we will kind of go through these, talk about again what you think about it, what UpX World's position is, or how it affects us, etc. So there we go. All right. So now I need to stop sharing that. And I need to start sharing. Where's my news feeds? Oh, I had this all organized before too. Oh, did I? Got it. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, what was that? Hey, Dak, can you clarify? A, Can you tell the audience what the NFT is that they can win? And then can you also, you had mentioned UGC just got better for, oh, never mind. I don't know why. I thought I saw something else. Never mind. I don't know what I thought I saw. I thought I saw something else. Anyway. All right. So here is our page. As you can see, we have now completed the store presence. So that's what we're waiting on. Then we'll get we have a couple more things. Also, if you want to help make a trailer for our game, let me know. We do need a trailer. I hadn't really thought about it, but oh, the royalties. Yeah, the royalties. 33 rock climbing. I would love to rock climb. Right now, I'm working on my grip strength. I'm doing all the grip strength stuff. Had no idea how important that was. It's one of our URL 500 NFTs. So that's what we're going to be giving away today. All right. So we're also going to have, we're going to define achievements. So if you want to help define achievements, stuff like that, anything that you guys want to get involved in, this is really designed by the community for the community. So if there's something you're interested in, if you just want to be a part of something to see, behind the scenes, we're going to be issuing like beta keys every step of the way, every step of this, game development process. I'm happy to include you guys in and kind of answer any questions you have. And so then we can see here, we are in, it's a 2 to 3 days. So hopefully this Friday, we will see it. This is what it looks like. So this is super cool to me. It kind of gives you the preview of what it is. Here's our requirements. Here's some other games. So keep in mind, it works both ways. So when somebody's playing Dreamlight Valley, it's possible that at the bottom, they're going to see, hey, you should go play UPX World. Or when they're playing Star Trek or any of these other games that are very similar. They're not very similar, but hey, there you go. This is because I put in that there's some racing. So here you go. If you're playing NASCAR heats, you might see an ad for UPX World and say, hey, oh, there's some racing there. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Obviously, all of our socials and our information here. This is really cool. You can see here that you can follow it. It'll start showing up in people's queues. And then you guys have to give me, you have to be kind and give good reviews, because honestly, if you're not inside the community, you might play this and go, what is happening here? It's a very weird game. But hopefully that'll start changing over time. And I know all of you very passionate Xlanders will hook it up. All right. Let me close these other ones that we don't need. All right. It's the VIP pass for awesome URL activities such as today's grand raffles. Requires having the NFT in your wallet. Okay. So we will do that is there a link for UPX World? There isn't yet. It's not up yet. It's not up yet. But as soon as it is. Slav is awesome. I just want to say that. Can confirm. We have an amazing development team. Like, we have some unbelievably cool developers. How do we get in the drawing for the URL NFT? Great question. I feel like my buddy Too Stupid had a way but maybe that's just because he did it on YouTube. Honestly, I might somebody think of an easy. I'm trying to think, like, do we just have you pick a number? Oh, maybe that's it. I'm going to write a number on a piece of paper, 1 through 100, and you have to guess what that number is, and then the first one to guess it wins. That's what we're going to do. I feel like there would be a way to put it in a spinner or something, but not now, humble. And now I'm not gonna. Well, I'm not gonna tell you. Maybe I will pick 13, but not now. Think of the number. Think of the number that I'm gonna think of. Is there a bot command from Twitch? I don't know. I'm on Steam. I'm on SteamYard. StreamYard. I'm on StreamYard. I'm sure that there is. We just don't do a lot of. I know there. I'm not a giveaway person, so that's probably why. I need to be better about that. What up, Caesar? Oh yeah, the hashtag works on YouTube. So that's the other problem is we're currently streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. So the reality is, anybody watching, we want to be able to participate. So what I'll do is I got a piece of paper right here. I'm not going to do it now. Do it later. I'm gonna write a number on this piece of paper, and then you guys are gonna guess that number, and then the first one to type in the number wins. Very simple, very fun. Try not to just spam answers though. Like, we'll let everyone guess, and then we'll let second rounds go. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. So this one was interesting. So this is actually, I have it as a web clipper, but I think fine. So how will Web 3.0 will work? So now what I found interesting about this isn't any different. So if you've been watching me for a while, we've talked several times about how we feel like Web3 is going to work. And we also talked about how, okay, if we're at Web3, what was Web2 and what was Web1? So again, they kind of they agree. Road to Web3. So this is this is really interesting. So this was just published March 20th. When I look at this material versus material that I was presenting to y'all, I want to say months ago when we did the first, because it was last year, of what Web 1 and Web 2 was. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm glad to see that everyone's kind of on the same page here. Web 1 is really, the way I describe it, is the read like access to the internet. Like you can go on and you can read information, you can, interact with things like Amazon, stuff like that. This is pre Facebook, in my opinion. I kind of differentiate, to me, like Web 1 is very much basic. You consume the information, with Web 2 being the read write. So that is your social media. That's where we are now. I love these ads. Like, what is this ad? Don't piss off. Like, I guess I'm now old. I guess they put me in the old bucket because now I get these. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, internet, for making me feel old. I appreciate it. Close. You hurt my feelings. Like, come on. Come on. Anyway, sorry. Squirrel. Web 2 being where we are now, right? This is read-write access to the internet. People are writing and reading it. When we talk about Web 3, this is really going to be where we want to go. True community ownership. And I believe I see that future with NFTs. I don't love cryptocurrency. I don't know why I was going to say that. I don't actually like cryptocurrency really at all. As an old guy, that ad might work for me. I mean, I am an old guy. I mean, I'll be 40 before I know it. So, I mean, I get my knees like do that clicking sound now. It's really fun. Anyway, so I'm not a huge crypto fan. If you know me, you know Um, so thanks, Shaq. Love you too, Shaq. Um, there we go. Represent. I like it. Honestly, though, Web3 is going to be run by silent tone. Get it, bro. 62 in July. Love it. But see, this is when we talk about Web3, let's be honest. I think most of the younger generation, there's like some that get it, but most of them are really content not owning. They're happy kind of renting. It's almost like if you think about it from the aspect of like the rest of their world, right? Like the younger generation is now used to not owning things, not being able to buy a house, not being able to buy a car. Like they're used to renting, they're used to leasing. They want the cool stuff like my iPhone. I don't own this iPhone. Every 12 months, I renew my contract and yeah, GG. GG to 62 is right. Like, that's awesome. I love it. And you're here on Twitch watching about Web3. Like, that's what's up. So the reality is they are used to making rich people richer, right? But they hate rich people. So it's a weird dichotomy. They hate rich people, but they don't mind making them richer. Um, so most of them are going to be fine with not true ownership, but those of us that are here now who see it differently, who want to be owners of this content, but also don't run Google or Facebook or Amazon or EA Sports, any of those things, right? The reality is that for most people, they see that as out of reach. But with Web3, that decentralization of ownership is really what's going to empower the next generation of entrepreneurs, true ownership and community ownership of these spaces. So I believe NFTs as a way of decentralizing revenue streams, much like it did of asset ownership and much like cryptocurrency has done with kind of currency and decentralizing that. That's where that future is. According to some internet experts, Web3, you'll be able to sit back and let the internet do all the work for you. Um, no, I don't see it as much as um, yeah, AI is going to be a component, and we're actually going to talk a little bit about this with Roblox, who is probably one of the biggest, in my mind, competitions of what we're trying to build. Um, and by I mean like competition as they are the goal. I mean that would be like opening up. It would be the equivalent if you were opening up a mom and pop grocery, and you're like, my competition is Walmart. Like it's true, but like just to set the context, like we're opening up literally a mom and pop local grocery store in the backyard of Walmart. That's what we're doing. That's exactly what UpX World is. So believe once we actually start taking any amount of eyeballs off of them and onto us, we're gonna be up for some fun battles. But NFTs as identification will be huge. No more spamming accounts unless you're buying a boatload of NFTs. Yeah, that's true. I could see that. I could see NFTs as identification, possibly. I, hmm. Curious, curious about that. I mean, isn't that more just like your wallets, though? I mean, I know that they're using it for access. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are on that. That's what I love about Web3. Gives average person a shop. Right. I do believe that that's a key to the success of where Web3 is going. Um, let's see here. Honestly, let's just move on. All right. So one thing that we're seeing is a lot of money going into Web3. So if you spend any time reading these, there are tons and tons of places throwing buku dollars because the reality is someone's going to be the next big thing. So here it is, CCP game raised over 40 million um, for set in the Eve universe. So if you're not familiar with Eve, I mean, Eve has been a long-standing, pretty hardcore MMO. I guess technically RPG, but it's set in space. But it is people spend. Oh man, there's some really good videos of it. It's in a massive, massive universe. Honestly, probably would be considered a metaverse. It's not blockchain at all. But if you consider things like Roblox a metaverse, I would consider Eve technically a metaverse, I guess. Seems like a weird nuance. Personal, what's NTT? Grandpappy. Yeah, it is. Personal ID NFTs would be rife for identity fraud. That's true. NFT, official records, easy. I mean, yeah, that's true. Imagine personal ID. See, the problem with NFTs in that space, like, why? Like, I mean, I get it. I like a digital key, but like, here's the problem. If it's in a wallet, what happens if you lose that wallet? The $1 million war, dude. That's facts. It is the Grand Poppy. Eve is OG. So here's my problem, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't think NFTs are the solutions for everything. Like honestly, I don't want my person because here's the thing: NFTs are on the blockchain, which means it's public. Like if it's on a public blockchain, like I it's too public, I think, for most people. And like if you lose it, do you know how many times I have no idea where my social security card is? Like, and I've created 100 wallets and I've forgotten most of them. Like there are NFTs that are lost. I mean, there's so many. So like I honestly don't see NFTs being the solution for everything. I think that they have a very specific use case. And for me, it's all about revenue distribution. But imagine, let's see, which chain holds all that's another thing. Like you can't really like trust technology at all. We'll talk shop in Vegas. Plug for Vegas. Genesis week is going to be nuts. UPX World's going to be holding events all week as well in June up to June 11th. So if you're around in Vegas on June 11th, we are doing a live 11/11, all kinds of good stuff. Don't miss out on that. All right. So, I mean, I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be watching it. I'll be honest, most of these people are not doing a lot different, which is what I'm keeping an eye out for. And so, yeah, I mean, these guys have been around for a while. 2021, I know the Eve guys. Like I know the development teams. Like they're legit. They're probably one of the more legit like digital spaces that I respect for sure. So definitely be keeping a there you go. Smart contracts in UGC. So this so one thing I will say about Eve is Eve has very unique economies and very dedicated player bases. So I think that if they're using smart contracts with user-generated content. User-generated content, by the way, which is UGC, if you see this acronym UGC, is user-generated content, is probably one of the more difficult things I think that we're having to figure out how to manage in a responsible way in Web3 and NFTs, because like there's so many things. Like when you talk about community ownership, like, okay, well, do you want all of the assets centrally created? As a gamer, I do actually. I prefer my assets centrally created because I want them to be governed using a central set of principles. So when I look at like Upland, I tend towards um oh, Moon Unit. You said, oh, ooh. All right, a little teaser from Moon Unit, one of our amazing devs. So I have to take a look at that. But when we talk about user-generated content, the reality is, like, as a gamer, I want the stuff that is sanctioned and controlled by the central system. I want the official Upland block explorers. I don't want the director's block explorers. I want the official Upland block explorers. I'm going to probably prioritize MV Motors cars over other cars, at least to start, because I know that there's going to be dang, y'all are sliding. Everybody's sliding in my DMs. Humble, I'm just sliding in my DMs. All right, I'll take a look. The user-generated content is great, but if it's not really official, it feels like fan art to me, which is great and has a place for sure. But I'm pretty sure there was a case in some country where a person was served with an NFT to appear in court. Now that's funny. So you have to manage, and then you have sprawl, right? So if you just open up the user-generated floodgates, let's take a look at Upland, and just like they have 8 teams, 8 developers who currently have access to make outdoor decor. Like we're already seeing a massive diversity, which is great. But then how do you manage that? How do you scale that to allow more people? How do you prevent it from being overlap? And then how do you just prevent just sprawl of just thousands and thousands of items being created with no value, right? Outside of the decorative purposes, which there are some really cool, and like the teams out there are doing amazing work. But I'm curious, how do you balance UGC with kind of creative control and making sure that, because here's the thing, is like there's a lot of different art styles even when we start talking about this. So yes. So anyway, Eve got 40 million. Now let's talk about Roblox. And this article piqued my interest for 2 reasons. One, Roblox, which is something I keep a very close eye on, because in a lot of ways I view UPX World as the adult, I don't want to say the adult version of Roblox, but like the Web3 mature version of Roblox. When I was back in Cincinnati, I actually sat with one of my best friends, and he has children that are like 5, 6 years old. And she was playing Roblox and absolutely loving it. I didn't understand anything that she was doing. It was nonsense, but she made up a fun story, and it was really fun for her. And then I had her play UPX World on my PC, and I'm not even kidding. I have some videos. I might post them out there somewhere. She's just blowing up turtles. She almost got in trouble because she would not go to sleep, but she was blowing up turtles and puppies, the block explorers, with her big Xlander gun, and was absolutely loving it. It was the tutorial. She didn't even want to leave the little tutorial area because she was having so much fun. And she made up a whole story about And it's really funny. I definitely have to post some of these videos because she's like, "Oh, doggy, do you want a bone?" And then she would just shoot it in the face, and she'd be like, "Ah, ha, ha, it wasn't a bone." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, y'all, mm, watch your daughters. They are scary." But it was a blast. She's like, "When can I get this? I want this. This is all I would play." And so even that small interaction really proved to me. And when you look at these games, like they're not the most elaborate, they're not the most polished, like they really aren't. But what they are is they're fun and engaging and allow people to bring in a bit of imagination. So it's not as like boilerplate as traditional games, which I think for me as a longtime gamer is something that I have to like mentally step away from, right? We're so used to playing these really, I won't say really polished AAA games because in the past decade, maybe even 2 decades, they've kind of gone down. But for the most part, we expect, like linear progression, multiplayer, whatever, like, and be pretty straightforward. Games like Roblox, games like Minecraft, it's really more, designing your own world to kind of play in. And so we definitely want to keep that imagination alive with what we're doing in UpX World. And to that degree, and on the topic of user generated content, AI is going to play a really big piece in a lot of this. So there is um, there is a lot of, I would say, controversy over AI being used in the art world, in the coding world, in the development world. Like, whose code is it really? If you have AI make, some of this art for you, do you really own it? What are the implications of how it was sourced? Lots of stuff like that. So I will say this: UpX World at this point has not used any AI generated art or content for any of its material. Now, I believe, and I'd have to double check, what Moon might even be able to tell me. I think we were using AI for voiceover. We might be looking at AI for NPC interactions. But at this point, we have not done any art. Everything we've done, we have gone to artists and things like that to really highlight the community, because at the end of the day, we want the art and the game to represent the community and to subsequently fund the community, right? So it's a revenue source. So if it's just AI generation, we can do that. I can go to ChatGPT with my super, what do they call them, super prompts that are like hundreds of words, and then just put it in and get all kinds of output, right? But that's really not the spirit of what we're trying to do. That's not to say that we won't leverage AI at some point, but not at this point. You guys, I mean, obviously, this is super cool, right? Like the potential here with AI to be able to do this and to let people leverage AI for development is awesome. But here's the thing with Roblox specifically, that in my mind, I go, that's awesome. But if you've ever been on Roblox, you know that there's probably, I don't know, there's got to be a million experiences. And it's funny because they call them experiences. We're calling ours experiences. We just use an X, um, which is interesting. But honestly, there's just not a better term for it. Like, that's the best term out there, is these are experiences. The difference is in Roblox, having it completely open to let anybody create any experience that they want is awesome. But also, when you go in, each one of them has both a kind of like the public Roblox currency, and then I believe each one has like their own in game currency as well. So you go into my uh, for lack of a better term, I'll just say my niece, um, like would go and play like her princess game, and it would have like princess tokens that she'd have to earn in that game. But then if she went to another game, it would have something completely different. And the reality is, if that princess game stops being supported, all of that work, all of that thing, it all kind of goes away. And it's whatever the new hot game is, it's going to be on top. They rotate in, they rotate out. Yeah, there's a handful that are going to stay at the top that are going to generate the lion's share of the revenue. So it's going to be really difficult for creators in that sense to make a foothold, because especially with AI generation, you're going to just have so much content generated and pumped out that I think people are going to get fatigued. The way I would equate it is like, look at the streaming market the way it is now. Like, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but between Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and Paramount Plus and Discovery Plus and Amazon Prime and Apple TV and whatever the new Peacock thing is, and then you go to Crunchyroll and Funimation, and then you what else? Then you got YouTube TV, and then you got Twitter, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. How I can never keep up with it all, and you get fatigued, and then people want to start consolidating, and I think we'll see that. And in the gaming space, you really don't want that gaming fatigue. Like, you want people to get embedded. And I think games like Eve that have been around for a while, like Diablo 2, still has a massive following. This game is, I don't know, it's got to be 30 years old. Still has a massive following. World of Warcraft has been around for decades. And the reason that they're so successful is whenever they come out with something new or they expand, they incorporate it into the next thing. Blizzard is a great example. Now, while Blizzard is a what we call a walled garden, where they really don't play well with other people, they do integrate in with a lot of their own brands. And guess what? Two of those three that I just mentioned, Diablo and World of Warcraft, are both owned by Blizzard. So as much as I don't like their dev studio practices, their actual developers and the actual stuff that they put out is some of my all-time favorite gaming content. In fact, I still play Hearthstone, which is their CCG game, regularly, and it has ties to Diablo. It has ties to World of Warcraft. It actually incentivizes you. If you have a World of Warcraft account, you get special things in Hearthstone. And if you have a Hearthstone account, you get special things in World of Warcraft. That kind of cross collaboration can only be done with a centralized gaming platform like Blizzard. So that is a critical component to where I say, as UPX World, as a gaming platform, we're going to allow these experiences to not only just coexist, but cross promote. So we're not going to have a million experiences. We're going to have a handful, and it'll grow over time, but it's never going to be in the millions. It's never going to be in the hundreds. It'll be in the dozens, but like, we're not going to have 200 different racing games. We have URX, which is the ultimate racing experience, which is going to have the URL arcade, and it's going to have X carts. And like for a while, that's what we're going to have. We have the individual events like the Spooktacular and the holiday stuff, but those are all really going to be URL sanctioned. Speaking of, boom, number time. I'm going to pick a number. Welcome, Zoe Wedge Cloud. I'm going to pick a number 1 through, let's do 1 through 30. 1 through 30. I wrote it down on this piece of paper. Type it in. If you are the one that types the number here, Wedge Cloud says 22, 23, 8, 18. Not yet. Hasn't come. Drifter says 14. Why my pause? 13, 7. Oh, we got a couple. No, it's not 7. Wedge Cloud says 3. Lots of 7s. Walk My Paws says 29. Why? Hey there. Wait. Well, Walk My Paws, I'll give it to you. Walk My Paws, it was 1. Anybody who knows me knows it would be 1. Come on now. Congratulations. Walk My Paws. Congratulations. Please contact our main man DAC with your wax address, or just post your wax address here, and DAC will get it to you. Yeah, 1. Here's a hint. Anytime I pick a number, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you all of my numbers that I pick. There you go. Those are the numbers. Geez, 1, 17, and 8. Those are if it's a number between 1 and 20, like those are the numbers I'm picking. 1, 17, and 8. Just almost certainly. So if I ever do one of those again, just know. There you go. There you go. That's Baba Barker for you. Is the wax address. Yeah, I was like, damn, no one even noticed. Like, that was me. I would like, do you ever just get one of those like moments? Like, I had the clippers in hand, and I was just like clean, and I was just like, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And then I did it. I'm like, oh man. And then I left my mustache for a minute. Hold on, let me see if I can find a picture. Because I was like, I can't. I look like one of the village people, but not in a good way. Like, not in a, I'm gonna go like, go out to the streets and start singing YMCA and people are gonna follow me kind of way. It was kind of like people are gonna like go on the other side of the street when they see me kind of way. So let me see if I can find because I took some pictures and then I was like, okay, I gotta delete these. So I don't even know if I saved one. Oh, here. Well, I'm gonna edit this because I'm not really wearing clothes. Also, I kind of look like a cop. Like, that's although for maybe I'll put that on my dating profile. Yeah, I know, right? That's why, so I couldn't do. I was just like, I'm not cool enough to pull that off. Like, I don't have that. I don't have the matching attitude for that, unfortunately. Chopper, yeah, like I'm not cool enough for that. Like, yo. So it had to go. It had to go. Still got my dude hair. That would be nice. Yeah. All right. All right. Oh, add to stream. There we go. So next up we have Cloudflare, which is security. This is something that's interesting. Now, I'm not a security person. Which I know I should be. It is obviously yes. It's obviously super important. I know that there are some very big security advocates in our community, as there should be. This is one of the critical pieces of Web3. And, when we start talking, dude, look at that. We literally have been saying this. Like, when was this written? It doesn't even say. I feel like this was written recently, though. Anyway, so with ownership, this is critical because this isn't centralized anymore. We're decentralizing the ownership. So if you lose access to your wallet, if you lose those NFTs, we've seen hacks, we've seen scams, we've seen all kinds of stuff in this space. If you lose your NFTs, if you lose your cryptocurrency, there is no backup. There is no rollback. There is no do-overs. Like, these things are permanent. So the need for very high level security, especially when we start talking about making assets that are truly worth tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, I know that, we already see this. I mean, if you look at, say, CryptoPunks, those are collectibles. Honestly, I equate like what we see um, when we talk about like CryptoPunks or even the Bored Ape Club. Honestly, to me, that's closer to, say, um, like collectible art. And the reason I think that that mirrors it in general is like, let's say that you owned a Picasso, right? An original Picasso. That would be worth a ton of money, especially if it was one of the good ones. That's like owning a CryptoPunk. It doesn't really do anything for you. It will probably appreciate in value as people start to collect it. But if somebody comes into your house and steals it, like it's gone. Same thing with these is it's gone. Now, that's always been the case. If you collect baseball cards, my brother collects Magic the Gathering cards. Those physical assets, if they are stolen, if they are destroyed in a fire or flood, they're gone forever. The same thing is true with NFTs. Now, the difference is that you can track it. Obviously, if somebody steals your NFT, you can see where it goes, which is probably almost worse. Like it would be like watching somebody just pass around your Picasso, or if it went up for sale, then somebody could buy it. Like, and there's really not much recourse at this point. The cybersecurity hasn't caught up to that, but have had Magic stolen and flooded. It's the worst, right? But now imagine what isn't really doable is like your business, right? So if you run a bakery, let's just say you run a bakery, you make sandwiches. Somebody can steal your inventory. Sure, they can steal your inventory. They can burn your place. They could do all kinds of stuff. But for the most part, like they can't steal your business. However, when we look at putting things as NFTs, like what we're talking about is actually decentralizing ownership of a potential multi-billion-dollar gaming company. And not just one gaming company, but multiple gaming companies and multiple art companies. So the art from 1111 going to have passive revenue. The NFTs from Upland, the cars, the properties, the block explorers, passive revenue. The Hyde Park Ninjas, when they have their NFT launch, passive income. URL, potential passive income. Like all of this stuff is going to be like a mini stake in these businesses. So if those things get lost, well, I mean, they can't really get lost, but they can definitely get stolen. And that creates a whole new issue of, well, how do you verify if things are stolen? How do you recover things that are written on a blockchain permanently? Those are things that, as UPX World, are very top of mind. What is MTG? Good question. It's Magic the Gathering. Yes, it's a collectible card game, pretty much the best collectible card game in the world. I'm just going to say that. Although, interesting fact, did you know that 25% of all of the Magic the Gathering cards that were ever printed, as far as unique cards, were printed in the last year? Yeah. Wizards of the Coast is getting extremely greedy. Although I will give one shout out. So I'm not a Lord of the Rings fan, but I love Magic the Gathering. Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering, they're paired up. They're coming out with a Lord of the Rings expansion of Magic the Gathering. Hear this. They're making a true one of one ring. It's a one of one. It's written completely in Elvish. It's gorgeous. There's only ever going to be one of them in all of the packs. They've never done anything like that. They've never done it. It's insanity. A true one of one. The ring to rule them all. Oh, already has a bounty of 100. Easily 100,000. Easily. So valuable. And like I mean, as somebody who loves ripping packs, like that's mind blowing. Can you imagine that you're just like anybody who's going to a comic book store? Like I remember pulling an actual foiled Charizard as a kid. I traded it for a bunch of stuff that because I had no idea what it was worth. So I just was like, oh, this is awesome. And I traded it for like some guy gave me like 50 rare Magic the Gathering cards, and I was like, this is the best day of my life. I had no idea what it was worth, but can you imagine somebody ripping this because it doesn't look like anything else? It's oh. So anyway, what I'm doing and what I would say, because I'm kind of an agent of chaos, I'm gonna buy one pack of it and just never open it. I'm just gonna leave it on my shelf and just never open it. There you go. So that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm gonna play it. Oh yeah, no way. No way. You put those in a vault for sure. You put it in a case, yeah, I would just sell it. Honestly, I would just sell it. I I don't have any need for that. But the things we could do with UpX World with a couple 100,000 from that, oh, dude, okay. The paint okay, so they have new sorry, I could do a whole thing on Magic the Gathering. I love Magic the Gathering so much. Um, and if you don't think that we're not going to find a way to make some sort of deck building CCG roguelike game with Upland Block Explorers, y'all crazy. Because that is very high on my to-do list once we get everything, once we get the foundation in. All right, back to the show. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. How about this? So I don't know, symbiogenesis. So it's really interesting. So in the world of gaming, you have it'll be worth $1 million. I hope so. I'd sell it for 500,000. 500,000, I'd be happy. I don't need $1 million. I'm not greedy. So what's interesting in the gaming world is we're seeing this like tug of war between like, oh, well, we see the point of NFTs and no, NFTs are the devil. Square Enix, which is the makers Final Fantasy behind Final Fantasy, like they're one of those like iconic game brands. So when you see them getting behind, also, do you guys get audio from this? I don't know. There's no audio yet. Hold on. Can you guys? I don't know. Um, no. Okay. It's just music anyway. So I am going to be watching projects like this because Square Enix is, again, they are known for their story writing and creation. And so like this is, I mean, it's cool. As you can see, there isn't really much detail here. Um, like so everybody's still getting, they're putting their toe in the water. But what are they doing that's really different? Um, yeah, even the logo shape is reminiscent of Final Fantasy. Yeah, like I wanted to be a story writer. Honestly, like I think story writing has massive potential, even with AI, because the reality is AI will just help you like if you have all the interesting plot points, but you just need like filler content, like I think people that have really fun ideas that are able to feed that to AI to then get just compelling the rest of the content. Cause like that's me. Like I can do big picture stuff, but then I don't want to write the minutia and the little dialogue and stuff like that. Uh, you can have AI write all that. With like narrative unlocked enter NFT entertainment. That's Um, that is a mouthful. Narrative unlocked NFT entertainment. So we can see here it's 10,000 character NFTs. I mean, it sounds super cool. I just don't see anything different here. I'll be honest. Like, okay, so you find objects and then you get bonuses for holding them. How is that any different than what games are today? How is that any different from going through World of Warcraft and finding items and then having it? And then you go, oh, well, TML, it's true ownership. It's on the blockchain. Yeah, I get that. I was super excited about that because I go, the authenticity of it makes a lot of sense. And I just realized we are quickly coming up to time, but that's fine. Wrong one. So the reality is the gaming world doesn't need NFTs to replace objects. And I think that's the problem that I have right now is because that's where I came in. When I came into this in 2021, January 2021, into Upland, I was like, holy cow, imagine if I was playing Diablo, World of Warcraft, and all of my objects were NFTs and then I could sell them. And then I realized that doesn't need to exist. If an item is not account bound, which most of the most powerful items end up being account bound, especially once you equip them. So, or bind on equip, which means that they can't be resold. And that helps keep the economics of the market down. The gaming industry's already figured this out. They already understand how to do that, how to balance finding items and letting people explore with that. If they're all NFTs and they're all on the blockchain, you kind of end up diluting the market and it doesn't do anything different. If I get Stone of Jordan, which is an old school Diablo 2 reference, I can trade it. I can go on to the black market and sell it even. I played Path of Exile for a while and I never had time to really grind out the seasons of Path of Exile. So I would just go to buygold.com and then just buy gold off the black market. Yeah, it's against terms of service, but anybody who wants to do it can do it. So you're not really doing anything super crazy there. Diablo 3 had a cash market auction house. Elder Scrolls Online allowed you to exchange goods for fiat. That's not new. So I'm struggling really with what their plans are because with especially games, when you start scaling and expanding, you can't just make 10,000 of a thing because then once they're gone, what's the point of everybody else playing? If all I want is that one object and now they're all been found or claimed, I don't really care then. I don't want to play anymore. So my only option is to pay hundreds of dollars to get one secondary market. Gamers don't want that. Collectors do, investors do because that's how they make money. But gamers don't. So just shifting all of your assets to be NFTs isn't really that compelling of a use case, in my opinion. So for me, it's about just building a game, but then having the in-app purchases leverage the gaming models that already exist. What I want to disrupt, what I think is toxic in the current gaming world, is that the microtransactions and all of the revenue that's generated from this great content is funneled down to a single entity. That's the problem. Square Enix isn't fixing that. Yeah, you can own it and you can sell it and whatever. Cool. Oh, okay. All of that is just making them more money. They're creating systems and they're going, hey, we can profit off of this new way because we're just going to sell this and make more money. They're not giving you ownership of the game. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents. That's why I think UPX World fundamentally is different in that we are going to take it and then allow the redistribution of the revenue streams of in-app purchases back to the NFT holders. I think that's just a fundamentally different way of approaching this whole space. And I do think it's the secret sauce to bridging the gap between Web 2 gaming, Web 3 gaming, mass market gaming, and kind of the niche crypto gaming. Check out Avalon to Druids and how they're doing their NFT in-game items. Okay, I might have to check that out. I've heard of Avalon for sure. So yes. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up today's Web3 Wednesday. If you guys liked it, let me know your feedback on Discord. You know, thumbs up, thumbs down, more like this, less like this. What do you guys want to see? What kind of content gets you excited? I really like sharing this. I'll work with Walk My. Oh, dang. Hold on. I put up a link to the Oh, dang. Hold on. I forgot. People are sending me things. Hold on. Let's see. Who's sending me things? Oh. Opening browser. All right. So hold on. This is from. I'll show Walk My Paws. He sent me this. Nope. Humble sent me this. Why is boop. So that's Web3. There you go. Thank you for that. That's pretty cool. I guess that's one of the cars you're working on. Very cool. Thank you for that, Humble. And then hold on. Let's see what moon unit has. Oh, okay. Hold on. So there's a new spatial artist arc spatial. Hold on. Share screen. Window. Here. I'll just pick this one. Continue. Well, Zilla's already here. All right, well, let's take a look. Dun, dun, dun. Artist Arch. Hey, look at this. Very cool. See, look at the sky. Can I look at the sky? Whoa. Oh, that's trippy. Who's over here? Hey, it's Moon Unit. Hey, Moon Unit. This is dope. So yes, as a part of what we're doing. Hey! I love the little dog block explorers. That's fun. All right. Well, there you go. If you want to join this spatial, we'll probably have the link up in Discord. There you go. Well, that is super cool. Thank you for sharing that. I'm glad. I almost forgot, but I didn't. All right. Well, that is look for Easter eggs in the sky. Okay, there's your hint. Look for Easter eggs in the sky. Keep your eyes on the sky. That is going to do it. Today is what? What are we on? Wednesday? Wednesday. Yeah. So you'll be able to make sure you don't miss out on the giveaway, the URL giveaway that's happening tonight. For sure. You don't want to miss that. Tomorrow, you can catch me on the UPX podcast, and then we will be back Friday with an update on 11/11. Don't forget to get your bids in. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so jealous. Heading to San Francisco for Upland GDC. Is that tonight? It probably would be, yeah. That's super cool. All right, well, let us know how that goes. All right. Well, that is going to do it for me today. I really appreciate everyone spending a little bit of their day with me. And until we meet again, have a great day, and I'll see you on the ship. All right. Cheers.